I really hate it when companies are trying to use like SEO tactics for pay-per-click marketing. There are two different objectives, and you want to save your SEO for your SEO pages. You don't need to use it for your pay-per-click marketing pages. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Everything Wrong, where I do a breakdown of everything wrong with a certain industry and their landing pages. So in this episode, I do everything wrong with junk removal companies and their landing pages. I talk about their landing page optimization, what's wrong with it, and how they can improve their landing page optimization. If you're new around here, my name is Dean Hua. I am a digital advertising strategist focused on paid media advertising, helping small businesses with both their B2B and B2C lead generation. So let's get right to it. As always, I do a quick Google search for junk removal companies, and then I click on their Google ads and I land on their page, and then that's where the fun begins. So let's dive right into it. Okay, so the first landing page up is Junk King of Rockville, Maryland. I live in the area, so that's how their landing page showed up. So there's a lot going on here. I can tell that this is not a dedicated landing page. This is a inside page that they're using as a landing page. So where to start? So number one, the hero banner, there's just so much going on here. I think they're squeezing too much into one area. So for example, as soon as you land on their landing page, you get a prompt or a call to action to call them, to text them, or to fill out a form. They're also trying to do their best to highlight that they have a lot of good reviews, 4.9 reviews. They have a lot of promo, and they have their sub headline as well. So this is just a lot going on. What I would do is I would keep this form here. I would move the call us and text us section to much smaller buttons and put it underneath the form or along the bottom of this hero banner, and then I would highlight the sub headline about how they're the #1 junk removal service. Actually, in fact, I wouldn't just highlight this. I would actually redo this. Quite frankly, the word #1 is just used too often. It has no meaning nowadays. If you're going to say you're #1, how do you quantify that you're #1, or how do you quantify you're the best or the top at whatever? So that's #1. Number two, I would get rid of this carousel thing. This is not as effective as business owners or web developers think it is. I would get rid of the carousel and just simply highlight with simple stock images of the sort of items that you take. It's just a lot easier for the landing page visitor to grasp. I love their photo. Great. I mean, I've always been a big advocate of business owners, small business owners, using authentic images of themselves. This is great. In fact, if they actually had like a horizontal wide image of this, I would probably use this as the hero banner, possibly. What I don't like is, so reading through this text, it feels very claustrophobic. There isn't enough line height and lines and character spacing, or word spacing I should say, between everything. You need to adjust your typography so that there's more room for the words to breathe, and so it's easier for the prospect to digest your information. This is just too much text into it's being squeezed into a little area right here. I like the 3 easy steps. Pick a window. They'll call you 15 minutes before arrival, and then we agree to your junk. So I love the fact that they try to simplify the junk removal process. So I would keep that there. Again, the carousel here for the reviews, I would get rid of this. I would simply just I would cherry pick 2 or 3 really strong reviews and take 2 or 3 power sentences from the reviews and highlight that. Okay, it's great that they have a 4.9 average rating on Yelp based on 38 reviews. In fact, I would just kind of like highlight this part and make it bolder because right now it's kind of tiny. So if they highlight this, it would just kind of signal to the website visitor that, oh wow, this is a very reputable company. Again, stop with the carousels, just get rid of that, and just cherry pick a few. In fact, this is, what is this? This is their news. Yeah, so I would get rid of this altogether. You don't want external links that link to other parts of the page to distract the visitor. So just get rid of the latest news part. The guarantee, I like this. I would actually move this further up, maybe like around here. Okay, any sort of a guarantee that you have, you should definitely highlight it. It should not be all the way at the bottom. All right, so that's the Junk King of Rockville. Let's move on to Nova Junk. Again, I found them advertising on Google. Again, you can tell this is not a true dedicated landing page. They're just using an interior page because they have the navigation here. Just get rid of any sort of distracting links. This is not a high converting landing page. You call, we haul, request a quote. Yeah, I guess that's fine. I was thinking, maybe do you need to make it bigger, but I think that's fine. So, quick thing here. I'm betting that some people probably click on these texts thinking that the red text is actually a link. So they should probably consider changing it to a different color just to minimize confusion. Because a lot of times when people see a red text, they think it's a hyperlink and it's not. Again, carousels, I don't like it. Wow, this is just way too much. Yeah, so again, just cherry pick a few really good reviews and highlight those reviews. You don't need what looks like to be, I guess, 20 pages of reviews. In fact, I'm concerned that it may slow down load time as well. And again, you don't need all these links. These trust symbols that you have, like 2017 Angie's List Award, Thumbtack, I would move them further up. You want your trust symbols further up along the page. Typically, people put the trust symbols right here. Okay. Oh, actually, I just noticed this. So regarding so they basically describe their process here. I would take a playbook from the Junk King, where the Junk King uses simple icons and just a real quick sentence describing their 3-step process for removing junk. I would apply it here as well. So instead of like using bullet points, just lay it out, your simple 3-step process, or however many steps that they have. Okay, so let's move on to College Hunks Hauling Junk. So these guys have a very well-known brand in my area. I see their advertising all the time. A very reputable company. But again, and see, this is why pay-per-click marketing is so expensive for a lot of moving companies. They're just not using high converting landing pages at all. And I'll leave a link at the bottom where you can download my ebook on superhero high converting landing pages. It's 25 pages of easy to read material on how to develop high converting landing pages. But again, they're using some sort of interior page as the landing page for their Google ads. Big no-no. So again, get rid of the links. I like the image here. This is really good. You always want to use authentic images rather than stock images. I would say that they need a better CTA. This is something that they probably want to test. So once they remove these navigation links, just book now. So what I would do is consider testing this CTA button and its placement. Test it here if you want, but then maybe consider moving it here where it may be more visible. Okay, and see what sort of conversion rates that you get with that. Again, another example of distracting links. If you click on these links, it takes them to other parts of their website. You don't need that. If you want to do a meet the team, put information along with photos of your team on the same page. Okay, you don't need a link to careers. You're not trying to promote your careers. You're trying to get the landing page visitor to book an appointment with you. So this needs to go. So FAQ is a very legitimate thing to have, but again, I would type out your FAQs here in the bottom. Okay, FAQs, usually they're reserved for the bottom portion of the landing page. Getting estimates, let me see what happens if I click on this. So again, this takes them to another part of the website. What I would do is I would create a light box or a pop-up where if I click on this, the entire thing just pops up and allows me to stay on the same page. Okay, I like their map. So this is a very good visual representation of the area that they serve. I get the feeling they're doing this for SEO, where they list all of the cities that they serve. I really hate it when companies are trying to use like SEO tactics for pay-per-click marketing. There are two different objectives, and you want to save your SEO for your SEO pages. You don't need to use it for your pay-per-click marketing pages. So food for thought. So let's wrap it up here with some of the big mistakes that most of these moving companies are making with their pay-per-click marketing of their landing page. Number one, don't use home pages as your landing page. You want to develop a high converting landing page. The reality is that you're paying thousands of dollars per month on your Google AdWords campaigns. You may as well spend a few more dollars developing a high converting landing page. Number two, get rid of carousels or widgets or anything like that. Keep it simple, keep your navigation simple, and keep everything on page. Don't link to off page elements where it will distract your visitor. And then number three, cherry pick your testimonials. Obviously these companies have really good reviews. That's great. You don't need to sit there and take the entire 2 or 3 paragraphs that your customers type out and put it onto the website. You could just simply take 2 or 3 power sentences from each review and put it onto your landing page. That will help convert better as well. So that wraps up another episode of Everything Wrong with Your Landing Page. A couple of things before we wrap up. Number one, you can download my e-guide, Superhero High Converting Landing Pages. I developed it primarily for local businesses or for B2B and B2C companies who are trying to do lead generation. I'll leave a link in the description below. So number two, I also do landing page video audits. So if you're in search of a second opinion on how to improve your landing page, I'll link some information in the description below. And as always, feel free to give me a like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it as a content creator. The content on this channel is primarily focused on digital advertising with a heavy emphasis on Google advertising and Facebook advertising, and of course your landing pages. So if that's the sort of information you're looking for, hit the subscribe button and I will see you soon. Later, bye.